Fern really broke my heart. I mean, we had spent like at least 2 or 3 months working with this dog to get her to this point, and in less than 24 hours, she was dead. Fern was barking so viciously. I was like, there's no way we can have this dog here. But you know, I mean, we didn't want her to just go to another shelter or be euthanized somewhere. And so we're like, okay, maybe she can come here and we can put her up for adoption soon. We had made so much progress with this dog. A lady had come in. For some reason, this lady was really able to handle her like instantly in the meet and greet. So they went and they did the home check, and this lady had view fencing for such a difficult dog. And you know, for this adopter who seemed to understand her on some level, we were like, okay, you can adopt her, but you have to keep her in your backyard on a leash. And 24 hours later, she had gotten out. She was booking it for 15 minutes, probably the most terrified she's ever been in her entire life, and she got hit by a car. So that was really frustrating. And you start to really wonder like what you're doing it for, I guess. Because you put in all that hard work and then it just, in less than 24 hours, it just all went to garbage. You know, I literally had to go into work the next day, and there were, you know, 30, 40, 50 other animals that needed me. And I can't cry around them. So you do have to compartmentalize a lot. And I'm sure that creates a whole bunch of buried trauma that I don't want to face. But the funny, not funny thing about rescue is that there's always one that fills their place. I'm an animal care specialist. I clean kennels, I give vaccinations, all of those types of things. Provide behavior support for our naughty kids and our fearful ones too.
I feel like you have to be an empathetic person in order to do what we do. To me, each case or each trapping I do, each one matters to me, whether it's my very first trapping or my, 100th. Because I want to give it like my all every time.
I'm a shelter volunteer and I do trapping. So I'm on the North Central team, which is actually the area of the shelter. And I do a little more of the shelter. I'm here every week. And I sometimes come like on my non-scheduled days to walk dogs.
It is sad, seeing all these animals that are, helpless and trapped off the streets, and they're here and we are the only people that they usually see sometimes, as volunteers and staff members and all.
You go home at night and you literally think about it. There's a lot of communication through Facebook Messenger, like the chats. That's how we communicate what's going on at the shelter. Like, okay, this dog threw up today, this dog did this.
I have a lot of animals at home, and then I'm like, oh, I'm never home enough with them because I also have another full-time job. And so it's like, I always want to be there and jump in, and then I go home and my cats are like staring at me. I'm like, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm abandoning you too, but like other animals need my help. But it's exhausting. But I try never to say no to animals.
I feel an immense sense of guilt and then sometimes frustration because, you're able to help, but you don't want to because you're tired. I need time to recover too. You just feel an immense obligation when you get into this line of work. If you turn your back on them, who's going to step up? I think my boss feels the same way. That's why we take on so many dogs. Because if you don't step up to help them, who will?
It's not like I hate it, I just feel exhausted. And I'm such like an empathetic person.
But you just have to be empathetic. And then sometimes the cases don't turn out very well. It's a tragic end. Maybe the pet loses its life to a coyote or a car. So you have to just absorb all of that, because it kind of affects you day after day.
You're trying to understand something so different from you. Like, it's not another person, it's an animal. It's hard to articulate. You have to figure out how they're feeling. That's really the hard part. And then empathizing with that, it's a whole nother layer to it.
Right now, we probably usually have about like 30 to like 40 dogs sometimes. And if we have a lot of dogs, sometimes we have to, try and make space for them. It can be stressful sometimes. And sometimes, with the high volume of pets and stuff, you can get stressed out sometimes.
We need to be able to control the population. There's too many. Everyone wants a puppy or a certain breed. I'm like, guaranteed you can find that in shelter. And rescue dogs are amazing.
Yeah.
I think it creates you want to be like a people pleaser. And for me, it's like, I know what that pain feels like, or neglect, and I never want anyone to feel that way. So that's why, especially like animals, because it's like we are their voice.
We trapped a Great Pyrenees a couple weeks ago, and yesterday I got to take him on a walk outside of the building for the first time. Seeing that progress, it's like you feel like you've met a goal, like that. Those are my goals, and that's what I really like. That's the motivating part.
Oh, look at that. Do you see how he was growling just a second ago in his crate? And then once you realize he's like got a good place to run and play, he feels so much safer. And I think they can also pick up on it. So you almost have to, like with certain dogs, like channel your inner, calm zen. And you're also kind of in a rush. You're trying to get all the tasks done. And so it's like hard with certain dogs that are on edge to just portray calm.
Animal rescue is like part of who I am. So it's like I can't just stop being me.
I used to do other volunteer work, and it didn't feel quite as meaningful as this. This is definitely more emotionally taxing, but it's also, the benefits are greater. And I think that's the key. You have to find something that the emotional stress makes it worth the volunteering.
That's like a sweet part of my job, like being able to help tend to the sick ones and everything. But the part that gets me excited and like makes me want to come in here is the part where I get to work with them and teach them things. I guess the way I kind of self-regulate is I try to focus on the parts of my job that fill my cup, which is working with the dogs directly.
And there's always someone like willing to help. There's someone in every room. There's an empath in every room. Look for the person that's willing to help, because there's always one.